Only one place to be this time of year. It's Daytona for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series qualifying. There are partly sunny skies and 80 degrees. Infield is full. Going to be a sellout for the Daytona 500 on Sunday. And this has been a great week. Seeing race cars and race trucks going around the track. Yesterday we had a 50-minute practice, and you see the top 10. Not a lot to be made of the times from practice. Some on their own, some in the draft. But we're about to find out who's got the fast truck as we get ready for single lap qualifying. Along with Michael Waltrip, Phil Parsons, I'm Vince Welch. Guys, we so often hear, hey, a super speedway race, you can win from anywhere. It doesn't matter where you start. So why does it matter where we start today?
Well, Vince, there's going to be some carnage in this race. There always is. And I think the closer you are to the front, the better opportunity you have to miss some of that carnage. Now, we can wreck at the front. We can wreck about anywhere on this racetrack. But I think your odds are better if you start up front. And honestly, I've never met anyone that came to Daytona and said, I want to qualify 20th. But, Michael, this is Daytona, man.
You're right. And Phil, the vibe in that infield, the way it feels at Daytona 2022 is the most energy I've ever felt. The fans are here. They're ready for racing, and we've got the trucks on the track right now. Jen Joe taking her first lap. The reason why it's important where you qualify, you want to make a statement. You sit on the pole and people are like, all right, he's got a fast truck. I better follow him along. You know, draft with that guy. The closer you are to the front, the better your chances to win. Vince, there's going to be some upsets. Guys that start last could finish first. But I want a truck in the front.
There's always some extra confidence, too, when you know you've got a fast truck, right?
Yeah, when this qualifying session's over, somebody's going to walk into that media center and brag about his engine builder, the boys that built the car, built the truck, put it together, and the engineers that tuned it up. That's all going to be part of the conversation, and it's a great feeling sitting on the pole at Daytona.
And I think Michael's exactly right. You see a fast truck, you're going to search that truck out during the race. If you see him in your mirror, you're going to know that truck had some speed qualifying. We know it's going to be fast.
Jen Joe Cobb, first one out at a 51.39. And here's the 15 truck of Tanner Gray in his third season. Had a couple of top tens last year. Jerry Baxter, the crew chief on this truck. Jerry back in the Truck Series after a foray into Cup, and a long-time member of the Truck Garage. Good to see him back.
Too.
Yep,
a lot of success here in this garage.
Yeah, I love Baxter. He's a truck guy. He could build one from the ground up, knows how to call a race and tune it up. And looking at that lap of Jen Joe's, Phil, I think about the best I saw was a 50-80 something.
Yeah, I think anything below 51 flat, I was thinking would be a good lap, but it was so hard to tell because there were so many trucks on the racetrack. You go out and try to make a mock qualifying run. You don't get to run by yourself. You get some help. So I think it was really hard to tell who was fast and what those speeds were going to be.
Yeah, and my point is I think that's a decent lap by Jen Joe. I think it's going to be good enough, hopefully, to get her in the show.
Johnny Sauter was pole winner a year ago at a 49.73, but some changes to the truck will slow him down a little bit. We'll talk about that when we come back. Back at Daytona, NASCAR Camping World Truck Series qualifying. We've had four take a time so far. Timmy Hill, Jen Joe Cobb, Jordan Anderson, and Tanner Gray. As you look at the 44 truck piloted by Chris Wright out of the Nice Motorsports Camp.
Chris finished 12th here last year. It's his best career finish here in the Truck Series.
Got to talk to Chris the other night, having a little dinner, and he's very pumped up about this opportunity for 2022. And you might see why right there, Phil.
Yeah, good lap.
Great lap.
50.75.
75. Good job.
The driver has limited responsibility, if you will, at getting this pole, but this is a guy that's won here and knows how to get it done. In any racetrack we go to, Johnny Sauter is going to be a threat. Got him a new ride this year. Going to be driving the 47. Been with Thor forever. And now look at him. Got him a new truck and a lot of optimism.
And they're talking about he will run some races this year for Thor Sport. They're right now they're targeting Martinsville to be the first one.
And when I said there's some things that the driver has to do properly, one is leave pit road. You know, you only got one lap, so if you stumble coming off pit road, it's going to hurt your overall speed. There's no doubt about it. And then you want to run as close to that yellow line as you can without hitting it, because if you hit it, it'll scrape the nose and that scrub speed. So that's a bit of a balancing act there, being able to judge how close you are to it not getting too close.
They were scrambling a bit down in the garage after tech today to get this 47 Toyota ready to roll. And you see his time at a 52.55 for the 3-time Daytona winner. Let's go downstairs to Josh Sims. Josh?
All right, so I'm down here on pit road with Chase Purdy coming over from GMS to HRE. Says you can't miss the yellow truck at all behind him this year. But how's the transition been for you so far?
It's been a really easy transition. Everybody over at HRE has been really good to me. Everybody's like a family over there. They told me that since day one, and that's actually how it is. So we're really excited to have David Gray on board. This is his first time ever sponsoring anything at NASCAR, so that's really cool. And like I said, you can't miss it. It's very bright. So I think we got a pretty good truck, and we'll find out here in a few minutes where we line up.
Always great when you get new sponsors on board for the new season. Jamie?
Solid mix of part-time drivers, new full-time drivers, fresh faces. Parker Kligerman, one of the part-timers. You've had 5 truck races under your belt here at Daytona. You best finished at 3rd. What are your hopes for the 2022 season?
I forgot about that 3rd place. Well, we'll see. You know, this place has been tough for us on the 75. Chris Carrier and everyone at Henderson Motorsports and all the employees at Food Country USA worked really hard at getting us here. But this truck we didn't qualify with last year here. We ran at Talladega. It was fast in the draft, but we didn't qualify there. So we're hoping this thing has some more speed than it did last year. But if it doesn't, I can promise you at about 4:35 p.m. today, there'll be a black and blue truck for sale here at Daytona for the highest bidder. But no, hopefully we'll get in this race. If we do, I always tell teams, if you get me in the race, I got a shot to win it. So I definitely think so. This team and everyone we have here, we can do that. And hopefully it sets us off on a great start to 2022 where we'll run 10 to 12 races like we normally do.
Well, Vince, when you can't find Michael at about 5 o'clock, I'll tell you where he's at.
Yeah, that's for sure. And, you know, what's interesting about that, he mentioned Chris Carrier, crew chief on this. Chris is the only full-time team member for Henderson. So, I mean, you talk about small teams. You can't get any smaller than one full-time member.
And that team won at Talladega a couple years ago, too. Chris Carrier and Parker Kligerman.
So I guess if it doesn't make the race, it's going to be Chris's fault, right?
Well, you said that.
And Parker's going to be selling that truck.
Chris has been in the hospital recently, hadn't been feeling well, so just glad to see him back. And especially when you're the only full-time team member, they need you. They need you at the racetrack.
And if you want to put a smile on your face, go talk to Chris, because he's always so happy and so energetic. Like to see that truck put in a good run, and that'd be some good medicine for that team and for Chris particularly.
Speaking of good runs, how about
Jesse Little?
Yeah, what a great lap for Jesse Little.
Just a little less than a tenth of a second separate our first 3 trucks at this point in the qualifying, so some good parity.
There's Lawless Allen, and while we watch his qualifying run, we'll check in again with Josh.
Yeah, Chandler Smith back with KBM in the 18 truck. 2 wins in the final 5 races last season. How do you pick up where you left off and keep that momentum going this year?
It's all about team chemistry, honestly, man. We made a lot of changes over those past few races, the last half of the season last year as well. And they all were very good changes, obviously, and the results were there. So we're really happy to have practice back. That's big for us, especially as me. I was a rookie last year, so still, I kind of look at myself a little bit of a rookie, but I have a year under my belt at all these tracks for the majority of the reasons of it. But with that being said, I'm really happy to be back with Safe Flight, Charge Me, and all my KBM guys this year. Looking forward to having a really solid year.
And one other thing he's happy about, Chandler expecting his first child. Guys?
Yeah, going to be a dad. A lot of responsibility that comes with that as Lawless Allen shuts it down with the second quickest lap at a 5:07.12, so about 7 thousandths off of Jesse Little. And we watch the 43 of Thad Moffitt, and also going to enjoy the launch of the 17 truck of Riley Herbst and kind of hear him get through the gears, and going to learn a little bit of something from that as well.
Yeah, it's really interesting to me to see how these guys are able to get off pit road and what their strategy is. Do they rev it up really high, Phil? And yeah, I wondered if he would really rev the engine up and maybe try to get some wheel spin. It sounded like just a calm low RPM launch. Sounded good. I think the kid did a good job.
And I think Elmore builds all these engines. All these engines are basically a spec engine built by Elmore up in Michigan. And I think the Elmore engineers will say, okay, the optimal shifting RPM is X, whether it's 7,500, whatever. So that's what I think what these guys try to do. You heard the 1-2 shift. There wasn't much of a gap, but this 2-3 shift and the 3-4 shift, there was a lot of spread there.
Thad Moffitt completed his run at a 53.848, and you see him slotting in 9th of 10th so far. Jesse Little the fastest, and if you're wondering what that time equates to as a speed, it's better than 177 miles per hour.
I ran around here the other day in the NASCAR racing experience with a passenger running 164, so there was no traffic.
Were they scared?
Yes, yes. It was really, really scary.
Saw Riley Herbst putting his hand out the window there.
That's just to try to get a little bit of air off that spoiler. My passengers weren't that scared until I got my phone out and started videoing what we were doing. I said, I'm a professional. You have to trust me on this.
You know, we talked a little bit about the change in the truck. There is a change from these trucks that we saw a year ago.
Yeah, and really to look a little bit more like the manufacturers. That you see good lap by Riley Herbst. And now we have 5 trucks within a tenth of a second.
That's crazy.
But these trucks look a lot more like what you buy at the dealerships.
Good looking. More to come. Stay with us from Daytona. What a beautiful day in Daytona, Florida. Partly sunny skies, 80 degrees. Absolutely gorgeous day to be at the racetrack. And you see the trucks all lined up ready for qualifying as you look at the 32 of Brett Holmes out on his run. Matt Jaskell, a rookie, trying to make his first career start in the Truck Series. Had to jump out of line, having a little bit of a mechanical issue there. So he's on the clock now that the 32 has made his run, and Holmes slots into the 6th position at a 58.83. Back to Josh.
All right. Yeah, well, back to you. Haley Deegan about to get in for her run, so we won't have a chance to catch up with her just yet.
Interesting, though, as you saw Haley get ready to get in. I had a chance to visit with Mike Hillman Jr., her crew chief, today, and big things expected for Haley. She did a great job last year as a rookie, but stepping into your second season, the expectations get a little higher.
Yeah, Michael was talking about that during practice yesterday. She needs to, drop in a bunch of top 10s and a few top 5s and try to be in contention a little bit. And I think she expects that of herself too. And that's, I think if she could do that, then she's certainly well on her way. But again, as you said, Vince, I thought she did a great job last year. Ran with some really good trucks and did a nice job of running the laps too. She was in the top 5 in the series in laps completed. And that's so important for a rookie.
Yeah, she just built a great foundation. And that's what 2021 was all about, getting feel for the trucks, the competition, and understanding exactly how to go run up front. Now just have to expand upon that and run in the top 5 and get those finishes.
Spencer Boyd just outside the top 5 as it currently sits with the 6th fastest qualifying lap. Remember, we'll go through this qualifying order, and the top 10 will advance to a second round, and then they'll put down one more lap, and that's the actual run for the pole. So the key is just getting into the top 10 if you want to advance and have a shot at the pole. But there are 41 trucks here for only 36 spots, so you've got to get in the top 31 just to be in on time, right?
Yeah, some of these teams are really concerned about that 31 number because if we have several new trucks. There are actually 5 different trucks that are new with no points. So they know that they're going to have to make that top 31.
Jamie?
John Hunter Nemechek is one of those drivers who is looking to step up a little bit from last year. It was a career best season for you. You're the only driver who finished in the top 10 on both of the super speedways. You had a 7th place here at Daytona. What's left to prove for you?
Go win some more races and go win the championship this year. Hopefully we can get it kicked off on the right foot here tonight. Our Pi Barker Fire Alarm Services Toyota Tundra TRD Pro was pretty quick yesterday in practice. I felt like it drafted well. I don't know how we'll qualify. We didn't do any single car runs, but excited to get back here at the racetrack after last year. Hopefully we can roll some of the momentum over into this year. But a lot of hard work went in over the off season at KBM, and I'm just excited to be back, ready to get going.
Almost time to qualify. Let's go back to Josh.
Yeah, from one KBM driver to another, I'm here with Corey Heim in the 51 truck, already on the pole for the ARCA race tomorrow. So what do you say you make this 2 in a row? What's it going to take to get that done?
Yeah, that'd be nice for sure. We got a really good JBL Tundra TRD Pro today. We practiced yesterday, only made single car runs and dialed it in for qualifying, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right, there you go. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, and of course, the ARCA race, season opener here at Daytona tomorrow, 1:30. You'll see it here on FS1. Jamie Little and our Phil Parsons.
Yeah. Corey trying to go back-to-back. He won that race last year. Did a nice job. Drew Dollar, his teammate at the time, pushed him to the win. Now Drew Dollar's driving for Joe Gibbs Racing. Actually, KBM. Now, there was a big change just a couple of weeks ago. KBM took over the ARCA team from Joe Gibbs Racing. So it's actually KBM that will have Drew Dollar driving for them tomorrow in the ARCA race.
This is Blaine Perkins.
It's a nice run for Blaine, too.
I can't believe all these times. It was so close.
Yeah, it started early, and it's continued that way.
8:41 for Perkins. Sets the stage for Danny Bone, driving out of the Young's Motorsports camp.
He's only got one start here at Daytona. Danny's a modified racer, short track guy, loves the truck series, though. Got this opportunity with Young's Motorsports to make his second Daytona start.
Jesse Little, Spencer Boyd, also part of that Young's Motorsports group. Tyler Young does a great job with that organization, and Jesse Little going to split the season with Kaz Gralla.
Kaz Gralla, that made the Daytona 500.
Yeah.
Last lap pass made the Daytona.
How about that?
Wow. That was drama all the way to the checkered flag. Those races were entertaining for me. A lot of action up toward the front when the lap started winding down.
I thought the drivers really used their heads last night in those races. Obviously, it's been well discussed. The fact there's not a lot of equipment, the new next-gen car, and very, very little carnage last night.
Former Cup driver Chad Little, his son Jesse, currently the fastest of the group. Matt DiBenedetto coming up soon.
This is the game in its purest form.
Bringing it on!
Where the passion lasts a lifetime.
And this place is buzzing now.
The rivalries stay true, and the power of the upset is real. This is the stuff that legends are built on. Xavier UConn, followed by Iowa, Ohio State. Saturday on Fox.
Setting the field for tonight's season opener in the Camping World Truck Series here at Daytona. Qualifying underway, 41 trucks for 36 spots. The top 31 on time will get into the field, and then there will be 5 provisionals.
Right now, it looks like Johnny Sauter will be needing one of those 5, Phil.
Yeah, I think so, too. He's only beaten 2 trucks. Johnny will be able to fall back on a past champion provisional.
61 is Chase Purdy out of the Hattori garage. Check in with Jamie.
You mentioned Matt DiBenedetto looking to make his Truck Series debut after 7 years in the NASCAR Cup Championship. You had your first taste of the truck yesterday. You put 5 laps up on the board. What was the biggest surprise or the biggest lesson that you learned?
Luckily, not too many surprises so far, so that's a good thing. It was smooth. We were just feeling it all out, making sure everything's good. But, no, everything's so far so good. Can't complain. It's been fun just getting to work with these guys finally for the first time. We've really meshed well. So I'm looking forward to that. Driving a Chevrolet. I haven't driven a Chevrolet in many years, so just a lot of things to get used to. But more so, it's kind of paying attention to the other guys and how, because obviously it's a different experience level. So how we can use that to our advantage and just being really aware come race time is what's going to be important.
The level of experience is one of the most exciting things about the Truck Series, Josh.
Well, Jamie, I'm here with Carson, host of our second season with Nice. Finished 5th here at Daytona last season. What's it going to take to do better than that and get the win?
I don't know. Survival more than anything. That's our game plan, right? It's like dodgeball. The stars are going to try and get each other out early, and then we're going to be in the back. I'm going to be the quiet one, and when there's only 1 or 2 stars, I'll take them down. So. We just want a fighting chance at the end. We want this truck clean, and Al Nice doesn't want to have to pay for the bill or a handful of trucks. I'm not sure I have in my teammates more than anything, but hopefully we got all 4 running it clean at the end.
Straight to numbers, right? Straight to numbers. It's like dodgeball, guys. It's like dodgeball. And the hat right now is pretty tame, guys. It's pretty tame.
Yeah, well, maybe waiting for the race tonight to pull out the real bill, huh?
Yeah, I think he's got something in the closet that he's going to be able to pull out.
You guys went and did a little hat shopping earlier this year.
And I love that kid. We had the best time ever.
Hey, he kind of snuck up on some people last year. He's not going to sneak up on them this year.
Wasn't it Bristol, Phil, when he stayed out on old tires? And I thought, I mean, everybody pitted and he stayed out and he just hung right in there, run second most of the race. I'm just that's an accomplishment. He just did special things. At Talladega, he had finished every lap when we got to Talladega except one as a rookie. That's amazing. You talked about Haley Deegan running the laps. He did the same thing, and he liked about a foot of being past the big one. Got caught up in that and ended his playoff run.
And remember, he just turned 18 years old, so he had zero experience on the super speedways prior to last season and did such a great job. Had a runner-up finish, I think, at Darlington. How do you do that?
Yeah, he's a talented young racer and very good spirit.
How about Chandler Smith? More than a tenth quicker and at the top.
So far, 50-59.
P1 indeed for the driver out of the Kyle Busch Motorsports camp. Two-time winner last season.
The roll continues, huh?
Yeah.
The team's been strong, and Chandler talked about running the momentum into 2022, and that was a great qualifying effort.
We've had 22 trucks that have taken time so far. Again, you have to beat 10 to make sure that you're in the top 31. So everybody from Danny Bone in 12th on up are locked into the top 31.
Now that was solid. No wheel spin, no motor lug. Nice job there. You know, that's a lot of pressure, Phil, for these drivers. The teams work so hard on making sure they get everything just perfect, and they're all standing there when you drive off. If you don't do it right, you feel like an idiot.
Yeah, like you let them down.
Yeah.
Yep. So we worked out all winter long, and you couldn't get up through the gears.
You couldn't even take off. But he did it perfectly. And now he just tries to hold that wheel as steady as possible. You can see how the trucks bump around on these banks. You want to be right out next to that wall, coming to get the green, to take all that momentum you can, and then you want to tuck to the bottom and stay right down on the yellow line.
And you hear so many drivers say, yeah, it's easy to qualify here. You know, the driver doesn't have to do much. It's all, you know, horsepower, etc. Seems to me there's plenty of opportunity to screw it up.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't agree more. You know, we talk about Hendrick Motorsports dominance in qualifying. How would you like to be the guy that didn't get off pit road right? I mean, what are you going to, you can't do that. We don't know about you having you around anymore.
and it was different a few years ago because we ran 2 laps. So you could do about anything you wanted on the first lap. As a matter of fact, people just aborted the first lap and ran up high to get more momentum. But now on 1 lap, you better be on it.
And then you can see that yellow line over to the left. You have to just judge how close you are to it. You can't really exactly see where your fender is, and you drag that nose on the ground, it'll just scrub that speed off.
Well off the top speed. You see there on the tracker on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Over 0.3 slower than the fastest. And again, not want to put a ton into what kind of single truck speed you have. It might work great in the draft, and that's what you're going to have tonight if you're going to contend to win. And we expect Ben Rhodes, the defending champion, winner of this race a year ago, to be in the mix tonight.
Vince, what's crazy is 0.3 is nothing here, is it, Michael?
Nothing
at all. I mean, I cannot believe how close this field is, and I think that's really a testament to NASCAR and the job that they've done equalizing these trucks again with that Elmore spec engine. The team's working so hard, man.
Here's Haley Deegan. We talked a little bit about her and the expectations that are awaiting her in her second season. Downstairs to the 3-time champ, Matt Crafton's with Jamie.
And Matt Crafton, a little bit of new this year. You've got a new crew chief. You had Junior Joyner for 10 years. When you make those big changes in the offseason, how do you adjust at the first race weekend?
At least it's just Daytona. I mean, there's not a whole lot we can do. Guy brought a good Menards Toyota Tundra, so we should tonight be interesting. There's a lot of new faces. I probably don't know half the field, so just learning what everybody's going to do throughout the race, and I'm sure Jeff and these guys brought a good truck.
Jeff Hensley, the crew chief for Crafton now after 10 years with Junior Joyner.
I talked to Matt just before qualifying. He said, I had a great day. I went for a jog, went and got me some coffee. I'm all jacked up and ready to go racing tonight. And he's been so close to victory here, but just hasn't been able to get it done.
I talked to Junior Joyner is here kind of as an advisor. Obviously, this is watch a good lap going for John Hunter Nemechek, and I said he showed me his pass that said guest. I said, where's your hard card? He said, I don't have one. I'm a guest. VIP guest, he said.
They had some spirited debates, didn't they?
Ooh.
Junior Joyner and Matt Crafton.
Just like brothers would, right?
It was so interesting, their relationship.
How about Nemechek putting up a big lap here as you see him better than 0.3 quicker on pace anyway than his teammate Chandler Smith for the top spot. And remember, not for the pole. The top 10 will advance to a second round, and those 10 will run for the pole. But it's a good indicator of who's got the speed as Nemechek jumps to the top of the board with authority.
Wow. Remember all that parity we talked about, Phil?
Yeah.
He just blew that right out of the water.
0.4 of a second.
John Hunter Nemechek, 5-time winner a year ago. Back at Daytona, Camping World Truck Series qualifying. John Hunter Nemechek fastest. While we were at commercial break, Ty Majeski and Corey Heim jumped up inside the top 5. Majeski second quick, Heim third fastest behind Nemechek. And here's Christian Eckes, who ran full-time a couple of years ago with Kyle Busch Motorsports and then ran a part-time schedule last year with ThorSport. He's in full-time in the ThorSport machine, the 98 this season.
I talked to Christian down in the garage area this morning. He was so happy to be full-time, and I really think he's found a home here with Duke Thorson and ThorSport. And remember, he went to Victory Lane in that limited schedule last year at Las Vegas.
Good young group at ThorSport now with Eckes and Ty Majeski, and Ben Rhodes is still young. I mean, the defending champion. And then you got the old guy, Matt Crafton. You can't let the kids run the house.
He loves that joke, too. Matt does.
Yeah, I'm sure he does, yeah.
The driver who used to pilot that 98 at ThorSport, Grant Enfinger's got a new home. He's with Jamie.
Those 5 years he spent with ThorSport, now in the full season with GMS. Grant, we were just talking big picture goal to championship. Let's narrow it down here to qualifying at Daytona. What are your hopes?
It's hard to say. We had some good speed in our Champion Power Equipment Chevy yesterday during the draft. We did do a mock run as well, but kind of hard to base ourselves. So if we can get on to the second round, I'll be happy, but I know we got a good truck for tonight.
He mentioned that second round, and just by chance, if you're not familiar, the top 10 will move on to the second round and run for the pole. Right now, you're trying to get into the top 31, which guarantees you a spot in the 36 truck field. Again, there will be 5 provisionals.
You know, and that's a perfect example. Parker Kligerman talking about if you're in it, you can win it. He still hasn't beat 10 trucks, so he's going to have to beat another truck, and then he'll be in it, and then he can indeed win it. That's how simple it is. And you remember, Vince, in the Cup qualifying, Kyle Larson wasn't the fastest in the first round, but he was the second. Yep. So there's some variables that can make a difference when we go back for the second round for those top 10.
Hocevar 15th. Here's the 25 of Matt DiBenedetto. 7 years full-time in the Cup Series and in the trucks for the very first time. Literally the very first time. Yeah. He's never run a Truck Series race. And so
it's a little surprising, you know, that when it was announced that Matt was going to drive this truck, that he had never driven a truck.
You know, I think that I'm going to make a bold prediction, I don't know if you agree or not. With his experience, the things he's accomplished in Cup, I would say he makes the championship 4.
It would not surprise me, not at all. Chad Kendrick running the show there. Chad has a lot of experience, multi-time race winner here in the series. And they have an arrangement with GMS. They get a lot of their equipment from GMS and help from GMS.
Rackley War, that'd be quite a big jump for them as an organization and a feather in their cap if that could be the case.
I'll be honest, he wasn't in my early season Final Four.
But you're saying it wouldn't surprise you.
Would not shock me, no.
I think that this could be the deepest we've ever seen the Truck Series.
I agree.
Yeah,
and
totally.
I think it's going to be really challenging to make the playoffs.
Right, make the 10.
There's going to be some good teams that don't make the playoffs.
No doubt.
Yep, I agree.
I just look at what John Hunter did last year, though, with his accomplishments and the runs he had in Cup and the experience and the way he was able to win multiple races and race for that championship. I feel like Matt has the talent.
He's going to bring
do the
that
same
to
thing.
him. He's going to bring that to that team.
Yes, sir.
And this is probably going to be one of the drivers you're going to have to beat, who happens to be in a new place this year. This is Zane Smith. He's been in the series 2 years. He's been championship runner-up in both.
And he's not happy about that either.
I love. That's.
I was talking to him, and he loves this truck. He said, I love a yellow truck. It really jumps off the screen. It does. Looks great. And they're very excited about some of the sponsors they've got lined up for this year. 14th fastest with Front Row Motorsports. Well, we've got about 10 left. Who's going to make the show at Daytona? Back at Daytona, we've had 35 take time. That means 6 are left to go. As you take a look at the 33 truck of Jason White, we had 3 qualify while we were at commercial break. Colby Howard into the 14th spot. Matt Crafton 25th. And Austin Wayne Self put up a good lap. He was 12th quickest as we stand. And while we watch Jason White, we check in with Josh.
Yeah, I'm here with Ty Majeski in the 66 truck. Great run, second on the board right now. How you feeling about that and your chances of capturing the pole?
Well, super speedway qualifying is just a huge testament to everybody at Thor Sport Racing. Joe Shear, my crew chief, and all the guys have been preparing and massaging on this truck for the last few weeks to get it this fast. So glad that speed is showing. Hopefully we can find a little bit more here for that Ford truck.
All right, guys, back to you.
Yeah, Ty Majeski, a lot of folks pulling for him. He's really a super wheelman. He's proven that throughout the course of time. And as you see Jason White finishing up his qualifying run in the 32nd spot. But Ty Majeski has been working at the Thor Sports shop on a daily basis, kind of in a junior engineering role. And he has earned an opportunity at Thor Sport. Good to see him get it.
He just ran well when he got in that truck. The limited times he got in that truck, and you put him in a late model or a super late model, he's the car to beat most times.
He can get it done. That lap for Jason White wasn't good enough to crack the top 31. Sad news for Jason White, but it's good news for Parker Kligerman, Chris Carrier, and that team, because that now locks them in, and that means they're in it, and no one would be surprised if he doesn't win it.
Remember, 31 get in on time, so you must be in the top 31 to secure a spot. There will be 5 provisionals, but the top 10 will advance and run a second round of qualifying, 1 lap, and the fastest of that 10 truck group will be the pole winner. Jamie.
Jesse Little watching on as the rest of the field qualifies for the race later on today. You're 5th right now. You spent 2 years in Xfinity, came back to trucks. You said you want to be competitive and have fun. How is it shaping up so far?
It's couldn't be much better than this. No, I'm excited to be here. I love this group of guys that I got at Young's Motorsports, and to come to Daytona and do it with Shriner's Children's on board. It's all we can ask for. We were just joking about making it to the second round. We didn't even put cool-down hoses on this thing, so we might have to take some tape off, but just shows the effort. You try hard, and these guys have spent a lot of time at the shop working on this thing, and I just get to hold the wheel. So I'm lucky to do it, and sure hope to get another try here at the round of 10 and see what we can do.
You just got bumped down to 6th, so we'll see how it shapes out.
Cross, thank you.
Yep, still in good position, though, and
I love his spirit.
Yeah, always got a smile on his face.
What a great kid.
Yeah, sure is.
Out of Sherrills Ford, North Carolina.
I mentioned yesterday I saw him at the Chili Bowl, and he was so excited to be there racing, something different for him, but he was super pumped about this Truck Series season, and mentioned earlier running with Tyler Young's group, and going to split the campaign with Kaz Gralla. They're going to be a lot of fun and good racers in that 0-2 truck this season.
What about Kaz last night? Yep. That was intense, wasn't it? All the way to the last lap to lock yourself in the Daytona 500.
Here's Jack Wood out of GMS, looking to make his first start here, and he will as he positions himself in the 9th slot. And here's the 16, and this is Tyler Ankrum moving over to HRE this year, taking over the seat that was occupied by Austin Hill a season ago.
The team, normally we would think this truck would be one of our pole contenders, certainly race contender to win, but his teammate Chase Purdy was not very fast. He's only 32nd quickest, so we don't know if that's obviously an organizational thing or for whatever reason they may have had some sort of an issue with the 61 of Chase Purdy.
Russell and our stats team is over there just grinding through numbers, trying to make sure we understand exactly who is going to make it. There's a lot of point swaps that go on in the offseason, Phil. One team will have another team's points that they acquired. It'd be interesting to see how many of what 5 provisionals we know. We think we know Johnny Sauter will be one of those 5.
No such issues for this truck, the 16 truck. Third quickest for Tyler Ankrum. You know, he was just started down the backstretch, and I was looking at the tracker, and he was a little bit over 3/10 off.
Job on your line, bud.
And he stayed there the rest of the way around the racetrack. So good, certainly a good effort for Tyler Ankrum and that team.
And you see what that time equates to, just over 178 miles per hour. It's getting around here pretty quickly. Here's Grant Enfinger, former winner at Daytona, won here in 2020. And this, I think, is going to be a championship contender this year. Johnny in that GMS truck. Charles Denike, the crew chief.
Grant's always a contender, no matter where you put him. Last year he had to piece the season together, but did an amazing job. Very competitive.
He was the fastest truck in practice. Again, that was drafting practice. Speeds up upwards of 187 miles an hour. These trucks will do in the draft.
And you know what happens, Phil, when this qualifying session's over? My palms start sweating already because I know what's ahead. the side drafting and the bump drafting and the intensity, it's all my heart can stand for 200 miles.
Well, you guys just need to put your Hans devices on and make sure your belts are tied up here for this race.
I don't know if I'm ready or not.
4th quickest for Enfinger. John Hunter Nemechek the fastest, but again, just remember the top 10 will move on to the second round, so Nemechek's work is not done yet. Might be the favorite for the pole, but he's still got work to do in round 2 as you watch Derek Kraus, and there's John Hunter on the left side of the screen. How about Nemechek? I mean, they won 5 times last year, led over 500 laps. I mean, he dominated most of the season, but didn't win the championship. I mean, to raise the bar on what they did last year is a lot to ask.
Yeah, and I think that probably they were walked away from last year disappointed. Yep. Certainly with a lack of that championship, and I think it's going to be the same situation. I think they're looking at it. They should win more races than they won last year and win that championship. And I certainly, you couldn't put it past that team.
Championship or bust is a difficult box to be in, though. I mean, that's
but that's what they expect.
Yep.
It's the best, the best team over the last few years for sure, and he's a very talented young racer, and they won 5 times, and when they got to Phoenix, just had some problems early in the race that kept them from being able to get to victory lane. But
well, he's the fastest in round 1. The top 10 quickest advanced to round 2. Can anybody run faster than John Hunter Nemechek? Picture perfect day at Daytona. The Camping World Truck Series qualifying just about through. Round 1 is complete, and that means 10 will run for the pole. And here's a look at those 10. Nemechek, Majeski, Ankrum, Enfinger. I don't know that there's any real surprises in that group other than, well, I'll tell you what, Jesse Little and Lawless Allen. I think you got to be surprised at that.
Absolutely. Not surprised at all, John Hunter Nemechek. Tom Majeski, that's a great run for him. Riley Herbst, good run for him as well. But
and think of the 32 other guys that aren't a part of that top 10 that we could make cases we thought would have been.
Yeah.
A lot of them, including Matt Crafton, who's all the way back in 29th position.
Let's go to Josh. He's with Stuart Friesen, who qualified 7th quickest in round 1.
Yeah, good run in the first round of qualifying for Stuart Friesen back in the 52 truck. How you feeling about your chances of not just winning the pole, but running well here at Daytona this year?
I mean, pretty good. We got a badass speedway truck here, and feels good to be in the top 10. I mean, we have just as good a shot as any with our TRD Tundra Pro Helmar 52. So just thrilled to be back here at Daytona. We got a fast truck, but we got the doors chained up. We're ready for battle later too.
Stuart Friesen, one of the hottest drivers in the playoffs last year, looking to pick up where he left off. Guys?
Got the doors chained up, he said.
He's been out dirt racing. He don't care. He wants to rumble. He wants to get with it.
Let's go back downstairs to Jamie.
and Tyler Ankrum was third quickest during that first run. But Tyler, big changes for you in the offseason, switching over to the number 16 with HRE, now working with Scott Zippadelli as your crew chief. The word on the radio was great job on your line. What work have you put on in the offseason?
I mean, you name it. There's been a lot of soul searching, and there's been a lot of trying to figure some things out, and Scott's been a great help to that. So is my new spotter, Eddie DeHaan. They're great coaches, great mentors, but I think the 16 truck's doing most of the work right now, especially since we're here at Daytona.
Get to go for the pole.
Yeah, certainly a lot of success under Scott Zippadelli's belt as crew chief. His days with Brett Moffitt and then Austin Hill. Well, it's a heartbreaker here for these five that did not make the show today. Jordan Anderson, runner-up in this race 2 years in a row, and doesn't make the show today.
And we just talked to Tyler Ankrum. His teammate Chase Purdy was over a second slower, so I have to believe there was some sort of issue with that truck. Those trucks wouldn't be that far apart.
Yeah, and Jen Joe, we talked earlier that we thought that lap might get her in, just came up about a 2/10 short. Missed it by a couple spots.
Now there's a look as we pan back of the top 10 that will run for the pole here at Daytona in order of slowest to fastest among the 10. He will not qualify on time.
No, he would not get it.
But putting forth a good effort.
I wouldn't even think he'd get a provisional for that speed.
I think a good effort.
Yeah.
Oh, Jamie McMurray might be able to qualify in on time.
Yeah, he had a good lap at the Coliseum, didn't he?
Great lap at the Coliseum. That's a minute for a quarter mile. That adds up to a fast time if you stretch it out to a mile.
He was wearing a suit, right, and carrying a microphone.
I really think he should do that at all the tracks.
I do too.
Regardless of the size?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll time him.
Yeah, we'll get a feel for it.
Yeah.
When we're at Daytona, we can go to break for a little bit while he's out there.
Oh, speaking of Jamie, Sunday, it's the most iconic day in all of motorsports. Of course, we're talking about the Daytona 500. The Great American Race kicks off the 22 NASCAR season, 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 Pacific, only on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Michael, a two-time winner of the Daytona 500. Put that in perspective for those that may be new to the sport.
I just wasn't bold enough to dream of it, Vince. So just to be able to have those trophies at home is one of the best accomplishments ever.
Here's a look at our season in the Camping World Truck Series. The breakdown of the super speedways, road courses, short tracks, etc. Going to run on the dirt at Knoxville and also Bristol.
You better be pretty good at all sorts of racetracks to win this championship.
You know, I talked about Stuart Friesen growing up a dirt racer, and he had that strong run into playoffs, and just an awesome schedule. You can see the Bristol dirt race. It's going to be on a Saturday night. Saturday night dirt track racing doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, and how about going back to Sonoma for the first time since '98, Mid-Ohio for the first time ever, and back in my hometown, Indianapolis Raceway Park, IRP, as we've
so many great races back in the day at IRP.
And it all kicks off right here at the World Center of Racing, and this is just a great time of year. I'm telling you guys, you look out across that infield, it's never been more packed, and the energy, the way the fans are enjoying this experience, taking it all in. Heck, there's a drive-through window Wendy's out there somewhere. You can just pull up in your golf cart and go get you a hamburger.
That machine there that you see the white it's cordoned off. Yeah, that's similar to the truck Michael drove here the year he won, right?
I tell you what, that was a handful. I don't know how.
Less or bad, I don't think could have done it.
I don't think anyone could have hung on to that I know.
Well, you did it. Yeah. I mean, that's you're not just anyone.
That's right. I'm special for sure.
Hey, you're in a pretty elite group, two-time Daytona 500 winner, my friend.
Yeah, it's cool. Yep, thankful to be up here on Fox, getting to talk about trucks too. As you hear Riley Herbst getting that huge launch.
It matters.
It does.
All right, so here's the top 10. Herbst was 10th quickest in round one. You get one lap, you put it on the board, and the fastest of the group will be your pole winner, and we'll start from the point tonight when we open up the season here in Daytona.
You see Riley as he looks down towards turn number 3. At speed, that turn looks flat. It's 31 degrees, but at speed, that turn looks flat. I think, Michael, you're going to do something for the pre-race show, aren't you, for Sunday?
We climbed up the bank and tried to make baskets, and we did not succeed. a lot difficult. I mean, I'm still amazed, Phil, as you see coming in the trial. Well, trial was banked about like some of the intermediate tracks we race on, and then you get down to turn 1, and like you said, you're going so fast it feels flat, and then you go down there to walk up it, and it's all you can do to get to the top.
So I don't want to steal the thunder from your race day piece, but are you telling me you didn't make any shots?
We made some, but not many.
Oh.
It was a fun competition. Boyer officiated, if that tells you anything.
Oh, wow. Well, failure is sometimes more entertaining than success, so we'll look forward to seeing that on race day on Sunday. Riley Herbst runs full-time in the Xfinity Series. Getting an opportunity here with DGR at Daytona.
Our Monster Energy camera. Beautiful shots. It's going to be intense tonight.
Chad Johnston, the crew chief on this truck.
It'll be driven by Tanner Gray's brother Taylor a number of times this year. Taylor's not 18 years old yet, so he's not eligible to run here at Daytona.
51.04.
That's a bit off the run that he had in round 1, about 0.3.
A lot more wind that run.
Thank you. I wondered why.
Yeah. And it's amazing how a little puff of wind could make such a huge difference to these things. When you heard once he got in high gear, once they get up to speed, the sound never changes.
I like his helmet.
So you see the 0-2 of Jesse Little. They're giving it a push.
Now that'll hurt his lap time for sure.
Well, thankfully they didn't have to push it all the way around over the 2.5 miles.
They got him going, but
what they needed to get with that other guy that we saw running down pit road, because he was moving faster than those guys were pushing this truck.
Jesse talked also about his engine might be a little warm. They might have to pull some tape because they didn't have cool-off lines to it. So we'll see what kind of lap time Jesse can put on the board. 50.70 in round 1.
Spent the last couple of years in the Xfinity Series.
Jesse had so many good runs back when they had that family run truck team a few years ago before he moved to the Xfinity Series. He was fun to watch. They didn't have the funding to run full time, but when they showed up, they ran well.
And Jesse was one of the only employees, huh? Worked on the truck.
Kind of like Chris Carrier in the 75 truck.
Chris has got a big smile on his face right now. He's in the show.
We mentioned earlier, maybe for those that aren't quite as familiar, Jesse's dad, Chad Little, former Cup driver.
Former winner here.
In the old John Deere 97 back in the day.
One here in the Xfinity Series.
'45 truck. Wallace Allen with some issues getting started. They've pulled out of the line, have 5 minutes to get rolling to get a chance to run in this round.
And here comes Jesse through the tri-oval, and we'll take the checkers.
He lost just over 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, both trucks, right?
The 45 of Lawless Allen did get rolling, by the way, so
they don't need all 5 minutes, Vince.
Good news for him. And Stuart Friesen in the 52 is out for his second round qualifying effort. And you heard in his interview downstairs, he was quite optimistic about the way their truck had run in round 1 and his chances for a win tonight. You see a couple of victories under his belt, Eldora and Phoenix.
Third season for Halmar after they started their own team. A tremendous improvement last year over what they had done the previous year, that first year of that new team. They just had the new team blues, but boy, they put it together, made the playoffs last year. And I look for better things out of that team this year. I think he's going to be a contender. You talk about making the Final Four. I wouldn't count this guy out either, Michael.
Yeah, it's going to start getting crowded up there, Phil. We talk about all the guys we think that can be a part of the championship four.
Friesen to the top. And theoretically, they should get quicker as we go, since we started 10th fastest from round 1. And are working our way up.
The first couple of trucks lost around 0.3 of a second. Stewart only lost about a half a tenth, so that's an improvement for that team to run better that close to the time they ran the first round.
And here is Lawless Allen. We mentioned that he had trouble initially getting that thing fired up, but he is out and rolling. Ran just under 10 races last year, but this would be his first start at Daytona.
Having an issue of some sort.
Yep. Well, he had problems getting the engine cooled down to a proper temperature. Maybe he just saw too much water temperature and decided, Jamie, is that what the deal is?
Yes, the temperature was already up to 240. They were struggling with that. That's why they couldn't roll earlier. The team just said, if you need to shut it down on the backstretch and come to us, don't hurt the thing for the race tonight. Wallace came back on the radio and said, I'm going to come to you. I'm not going to hurt it.
I think that's a good move. And these engines, as good as they are, they're fairly bulletproof, but they really don't like a lot of water temperature. So I think good move by Lawless Allen to shut that thing off.
Well, I mean, worst case scenario, you start 10th.
Right, exactly. Yep.
Here's Chandler Smith. Out of the Kyle Busch Motorsports Group, just 19 years old. Won a couple of times last season. Really got hot in the playoffs. He won 2 of the last 5. Danny Stockman, the crew chief. Championship crew chief in his own right. Won the title with Austin Dillon. In the Truck Series and in the Xfinity Series.
Both series.
Danny is a switched-on dude, and he is a racer, passionate about his race cars and trucks. Perfect fit there with Kyle Busch, I think, in that company.
See, Chandler Smith tracking right now about a little over half a tenth better than Stuart Friesen's lap.
Can we go ahead and slide him into the playoffs? Final four, Phil?
Absolutely. He won 2 of the last 5 last year.
How many are you two going to have in the
we've
Final
got 3
Four?
so far.
We're only got 3, man. Work with us a little bit.
But we've only talked about 3. So.
And Smith is fastest. Puts a number up on the board for everybody to shoot for at a 660. But look at these names that are still to come. Corey Heim on pole for the ARCA race, which will be run tomorrow afternoon. Grant Enfinger, Ankrum, Majeski, and of course John Hunter, who was fastest in round 1.
Had it not been for Ty Majeski, John Hunter would have had about 4 tenths on the field. And we could just about pencil his name in, but Ty Majeski was close enough that it's not going to be a given for John Hunter.
Here's Corey Heim, expected to run a part-time schedule in this 51 truck. Remember, Kyle Busch will run 5 races in this truck as well.
I think most of the races is what I'm hearing that Corey will run.
Not expected to be in the seat for the 2 dirt races, and then Kyle will run the 5, so there's 7 that he wouldn't run. But
remember last year the same thing was with Grant Enfinger when the season started, and he pieced it together and only missed 1 race. So I'm sure with the results will come more opportunities.
And I would think Corey Heim, you'd find a seat for Corey Heim if something's available.
Absolutely.
This young man can get it. And he's 3rd fastest with a 7:49. Here's Grant Enfinger, speaking of piecing it together. Enfinger missed this race last year and then made all
the road course
race. And then made all the rest of the shows. And still would have qualified for the playoffs, even missing a race. But because he had missed that race, he wasn't playoff eligible.
And he didn't know that he was going to be able to get together with another team to run the races that he didn't run with Thor Sport at the time, or he would have done something like that. But nonetheless, a great season for Grant Enfinger. No huge surprise. One of our most consistent drivers, winners over the last several years.
And would you put him in your Final 4 as well? I mean, since you guys are adding.
Totally.
Well, that would be 4.
That would be 4. That's no wiggle room.
Don't ask us anymore, though, Vince.
Who all's left?
I want to see you squeeze 6 into your top 4. That's the challenge.
We haven't even talked about John Hunter yet.
Well, he's in.
Yeah. He makes 5.
And there's Enfinger at a 7:51.
I'm looking forward to Matt Bennett. I'm looking forward to Matty D being with us all year long. He's got a great spirit, and he loves racing. I mean, you can just feel how energetic he is. Matt DiBenedetto.
Here's Tyler Ankrum. A terrific round 1 qualifying effort, and Liked his interview downstairs. We spoke to him a few minutes ago. He's really gone to work in the offseason to make himself better in all of the ways that a driver can improve. And it's not just holding the wheel. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into becoming a good race car driver away from the track, and especially nowadays.
And Toyota has a really great program for their drivers as far as an exercise regimen and a lot of training, simulator time. And this is the first time that obviously that Tyler's been involved with the Toyota brand. He was with GMS and Chevrolet before, so that could pay huge dividends.
Look how cool that nose on the new Toyota looks coming at you.
And there's the time for Ankrum, second quickest with a 7:19. You see Lawless Allen down there in the 8th slot with no time. He did not come across and take the green after making the top 10 from round 1. So he will start 10th
It
tonight.
shows you how good that lap by Chandler Smith was, because again, Vince, as you mentioned, these trucks should have been getting faster each time, and Chandler Smith has withstood the challenge of a few trucks that were faster than him in that first round.
Here's Ty Majeski. There's 2 to go. Majeski and John Hunter Nemechek. Can you catch Chandler Smith? And right now he's in the green, looking good for Majeski.
Over 2/10 and climbing. Wow. Look how fast that tracker is moving. Going to be a great lap. Might have got a little bit of a draft.
Well, you look for anything you can. You saw that truck totally back. You're smiling underneath your helmet because you're thinking maybe he's busting a little air for me.
Joe Shear Jr., the crew chief for Majeski, and of course, longtime crew chief for Johnny Sauter.
Multi-time race winner here at Daytona.
And Majeski in a big way.
Wow.
2:45. How about that number?
Faster than what he ran in that first round. So again, it's not going to be a rubber stamp for Nemechek to get this pole.
First truck to go faster in this round.
So Ty Majeski puts a big number on the board for John Hunter Nemechek to chase. Better than 179 miles per hour. And here is John Hunter. Who's going to start from the pole tonight? Looking forward to this season opener. Get this 2022 campaign underway. Going to be a beautiful evening for it here at Daytona. We'll have Kurt Busch in the booth with us tonight.
He knows a little bit of something about winning at Daytona. Winning everywhere. Champion driver.
I remember Kurt, his rookie season. I think maybe his first ever Truck Series start finished second here at Daytona.
John Hunter in the red, but it's close. Coming to the line, and he is not going to get it. How about Ty Majeski? First career pole for Majeski as John Hunter Nemechek comes up just short. Chandler Smith third quickest. There's that 66, the pole winner. We'll hear from him when we come back to Daytona. There he is, the pole winner for the season opener. Ty Majeski from ThorSport wins the pole at Daytona. Terrific run. 50.245. And he'll start alongside John Hunter Nemechek tonight for the season opener. Nemechek wasn't far off with a 3:08 to Majeski's 2:45. Pretty tight. And a lot to look forward to tonight.
Going to be fun to watch tonight.
The pole winner is with Josh Sims.
Ty Majeski, your first career pole in the Truck Series. How does this feel?
Yeah, it feels great. Joe Shear and Tyler, all the guys on the 66 team have been working so hard this offseason to build really, really fast Toyota TRD Pros. So we're excited to get rolling. We have Cincinnati Incorporated on the side of this thing for tonight, and we're ready to give it a good run.
Ty Majeski on the pole for tonight's race. Jamie?
It's John Hunter Nemechek who joins him on the front row for tonight. You got out of the truck. There's a little bit of body language, showed disappointment, but you went to the crew. You did the driver hand signals. You were asking for something. What do you want different for the race?
I I just got to do better. I got to learn how to hold a prettier wheel and not make a mistake. I made a mistake getting in 3, and it cost us the pole. But you learn from it, you move on, don't make the same mistake twice. So haven't qualified in quite some time. So looking forward to getting back to it, racing tonight. My guys have given me a fast Pie Barker Fire Alarm Services Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. So hopefully we can get up front and stay there. I mean, we're starting there, so hopefully we can stay there and go lead some laps, try and win the stages and win the race. Just stay out of the big one. That's the biggest one for us. So start the year off where we ended and go win some more races this year.
You are starting off with your best Daytona qualifying. Well done.
Mm-hmm. And stay out of the big one, as he said. Easier said than done. And if you can just make it to the end tonight, you're probably going to have a good shot at winning it. Boy, what a way to start off the season it would be for that young man. Ty Majeski, the pole winner at Daytona. Stay with us. Camping World Truck Series qualifying from Daytona is complete. Ty Majeski on the pole. John Hunter Nemechek will start alongside on row 1. And how about row 2? Let's begin with Josh.
Chandler Smith starting on the second row for tonight's race. How does this set you up to try and go for that first win here at Daytona?
Yeah, for sure. It definitely helps. Track position's big here, especially if you don't have the first 2 or 3 rows in qualifying. You get kind of back in the hornet's nest and it gets kind of scary back there at times. So you have to bail and completely lose all your track position and just bank on something happening in front of you or somehow getting formed up and advancing rows later in the race. So being able to have good track position there at the very start is definitely going to help our situation. So I'm happy to be back with KBM. Safe flight, charge me. We're going to have a really good season, and it all starts here at Daytona.
Chandler Smith starting on the second row. Jamie?
It's Tyler Ankrum who rounds out our first 2 rows, starting 4th for tonight. You talked about it. You've done the work in the offseason. The team has put the number 16 together strong for you. When these boxes get ticked off in the order that they are, what momentum does that give you for the race?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, for one, it's Daytona, right? I mean, starting up front, just trying to stay ahead of all the wrecks because everybody knows what the truck series is about. So we're going to stay out front. We're just going to try to push the second place guy to the lead, stay there, and ride. I mean, I think this is just, everything's just coming together, and it's about time.
Stay there and ride. Should be on a T-shirt.
You know, it's interesting. You start up front, you hear them say, hey, it's important to start up front because we got that built-in track position. If you start toward the back, it doesn't matter where you start.
Exactly. Whatever fits. Whatever fits.
But stage racing has changed everything.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to try to lead every lap. You're going to push toward the front. There'll be no laying back. For people that are thinking championship, they're going to charge, and that's what makes it so much fun.
You see our first 5 rows there in row 4. Grant Enfinger, former winner here.
Good stories up there in the top 10. Jesse Little back in row number 5.
Yeah. Zane Smith rounding out the top 20. He'll be a factor tonight.
Good to see Austin Hill running this race. Might run a few truck races this season, even though he's going to run full-time in the Xfinity Series. Matt DiBenedetto making his truck series debut tonight. Haley Deegan back there in row 13.
There's Parker Kligerman.
There he is. He made it.
That's right. We talked about he could win this race. He's going to be in it. And Johnny Sauter, starting last, won here 3 times.
We're just getting started here at Daytona. Plenty coming your way, including Xfinity Series practice up next. And then we've got Cup practice later. Race day at 6:30 Eastern. And then we're going to throw the green flag on the 2022 Camping World Truck Series with the truck race tonight. Looking forward to that. Great to have you with us. For Phil Parsons, Michael Waltrip, Josh Sims, and Jamie Howe, I'm Vince Welch. Thanks for being with us. Camping World Truck Series qualifying from Daytona. Xfinity practice next.